I was sent this for review at the same time as the AKG P820. I'm not keeping it, just so you know. This is the little brother, maybe little sister, to the AKG LYRA. It's a much stripped down version though. Allow me to introduce you to the AKG ARA. The body is smaller than the LYRA, though just as well built. I do like the yoke system much more though, didn't have to use a loonie to get it off its base. It's an all-metal body. The grill, though, is a bit more give than I'm comfortable with, so this should not be dropped. The top is plastic, so I can't imagine it's going to live through much of a fall at all. The knobs, they're decent. No real complaints here. One annoying quirk, though. Though it seems to be a small thing, we should really get our terminology consistent across devices. On the front, you're going to see a pattern selector for front or front and back. Yes, front is just that, it's for cardioid. But front and back makes you think it's bidirectional, but it isn't. It's actually omni, which is kind of an odd choice for naming it. Personally, I think it might be confusing for some just getting into the audio game. Just call it what it is. This is a USB condenser microphone with those two pickup patterns I mentioned prior, cardioid and omni. It's 20 Hz to 20 kHz. 24-bit, 192 kHz. Max SPL is 120 dB, and that's pretty much all I could find. Here I'm speaking directly into the front of the capsule from about 5 inches away. Now I'm speaking into the side of the capsule from about 5 inches away. And now I'm speaking into the rear of the capsule from about 5 inches away. Now let's take a look at the front and back setting on the AKG ARA. This is the Omni setting on the AKG ARA. Here I'm speaking about 5 inches off the front of the capsule. Now you'll notice as I move around the capsule, there's a little bit of drop off on the sides, just in certain frequencies. But as I move around to the rear, you'll notice that everything kind of stays generally the same. So it's very much an Omni microphone as you go around. Now let's take a look at the plosive rejection of the AKG ARA. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Now let's take a look at the proximity effect of the AKG ARA. Here I'm speaking about 5 inches off the front of the capsule. Now I'm 1 inch off the capsule. 5 inches, 1 inch. Now this is the desktop test of the AKG ARA. I'm leaning forward just a bit and I've got this pointed directly at my mouth. And this is what it sounds like. Of course, you got to remember I am in a relatively treated area. So take this with a grain of salt, I guess. But this is what it sounds like without it being on the boom arm. Now, this is with the microphone 5 inches from my face. And this is with the microphone on the desktop.
This is the AKG ARA, not to be confused with the AKG Ariana Grande. This one is a rectangle mic. It does things that rectangles do best. Rectangly corners. It also has a little clover pattern, which makes me feel that perhaps this is the logo of AKG. Most definitely is. It's gray and off gray, so it's very chic 2019 colors. However, the new colors are no longer gray. Gray is out and forest green is in. So if AKG is listening, perhaps you need a forest green mic.
Okay, I've said this several times and I'll say it again. All these microphones in this relatively close price range are all rather interchangeable. I mean, they're $100. And for that reason, it's kind of hard to find faults to add to the cons list. But at the same time, there's not really much in the ways of pros either. If you're looking for something for conferencing and some light audio capture, sure. If you're miking up something a bit more complex, including an instrument, well, you're going to get what you pay for. I could see this being a decent mic for a young gamer, though at this price point, and due to the lack of distinguishing characteristics between mics in this price point, doesn't it kind of come down to aesthetics? Literally, which one do you think is prettier? Buy that one. It does have a decent warm tone to it, and it fills the role of the younger sibling to the AKG LYRA. That said, if you're doing just very light audio capture, you might find yourself outgrowing this microphone pretty quick. But also for $100, I guess you won't go broke too quickly either. But in case you're on the fence, I would totally suggest this microphone over here, the LYRA. Though your pocketbook might complain a bit more.